She would sweep the floor while her siblings ate dinner, until a man arrived and changed her life. Jessica dragged the broom across the kitchen floor as the sound of her siblings' laughter echoed through the house. The smell of rice and beans filled her nostrils, making her stomach growl, but she kept sweeping. "Hey Jessica, you missed this corner," Brandon shouted from the table, pointing with his fork full of food. Beside him, Tyler laughed while chewing. "I'll clean it in a minute," she replied, swallowing the saliva pooling in her mouth. Just then, a soft knock at the door interrupted the routine. Jessica leaned the broom against the wall and went to answer. A man with white hair wearing an impeccable beige sweater stood there. His blue eyes observed everything with an intensity that made her nervous. "Good evening. Is this the Parker residence?" he asked in a firm yet gentle voice. "Yes, sir." "And what do you need?" "I need to speak with your parents. It's urgent. They're not here," Jessica stammered, her legs trembling. The man tilted his head, noticing the broom propped against the wall and the boys eating at the table behind her. "I see. May I come in for a moment?" Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot as we're just starting out. Now back to the story. Jessica hesitated but eventually stepped aside. The man entered slowly, his footsteps echoing on the cold floor. Brandon and Tyler stopped eating, staring at the visitor with curiosity. "Who are you?" Brandon asked with his mouth full. "My name is Richard Thompson. I'm a lawyer and I'm looking for a specific family. Are you the children of Karen and Steve Parker?" "Yeah," Tyler answered, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. "But they're out. They went to take care of some things." Richard watched Jessica return to the broom, as if she were invisible in her own home. "And you, young lady, are you their daughter too?" "Yes," she murmured without looking up. "Why aren't you eating with your brothers?" A heavy silence filled the room. Brandon shrugged. "She eats later. She has to finish her chores first." Richard felt something tighten in his chest. The scene stirred old, painful memories. "How long have your parents been gone?" "About 3 hours," Tyler replied, resuming his meal. "And they left you alone?" "Jessica takes care of us. She always does," Brandon explained, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. The lawyer pulled out a chair and sat down, ignoring the boys' confused looks. "Jessica, come here for a moment." She dropped the broom again and approached with timid steps. Richard noticed her calloused hands, her hair tied in a messy ponytail, her stained t-shirt. "How old are you?" 15. "And your brothers?" "Brandon's 13, Tyler's 11. Do you always do the housework?" She nodded, fidgeting nervously. "Since when?" Since forever, I guess." Richard took a deep breath. He needed to be sure before proceeding. "Do your parents treat all of you the same way?" Brandon let out a laugh. "Of course not. Jessica's adopted, so she has to help more around the house. Our parents explained that." Jessica's blood ran cold. She had never known she was adopted. Her brother's words hit her like a punch to the gut. Adopted?" Her voice came out as a whisper. Tyler's eyes widened, realizing Brandon's mistake. "You didn't know? I thought they'd told you." Jessica's legs gave way. Richard quickly stood up, grabbing her arm. "Easy. Take a deep breath. Let's sit down." He guided her to a chair. The boys exchanged glances, unsure what to do. "Are you sure about this?" Richard asked seriously. "Our parents always said so," Brandon confirmed, now worried about his sister's reaction. "They said they took her in as a baby, that her real mother couldn't raise her." Tears began streaming down Jessica's face. So many things made sense now. The different treatment, the extra responsibilities, the constant feeling of not belonging. "Why did no one ever tell me?" she sobbed. "I don't know," Tyler murmured, guilty. "We thought you knew." Richard took a handkerchief from his pocket and handed it to the girl. "Jessica, I need you to listen carefully. I came here today for a very specific reason. I'm looking for a child who was given up for adoption 15 years ago. A girl." She lifted her tear-filled eyes, her heart racing. "Are you saying that?" "I'm not certain yet, but the ages match. Do you know your full name, date of birth? Jessica Parker. I was born on March 12th. Richard wrote it down in a small notebook. Do you have any documents? A birth certificate? My parents keep everything in their room. I'm not allowed to go in there. I see. Silence took over the kitchen again. Brandon and Tyler had completely lost their appetites. Mr. Richard, Jessica asked in a trembling voice, if you're looking for me, does that mean someone wants to find me? The lawyer chose his words carefully. There's someone who never stopped thinking about you. Someone who had to make a very difficult decision many years ago. My real mother. Let's take this slowly. First, I need to confirm if you're really the one I'm looking for, but I promise I'll find out the truth. At that moment, the sound of a key in the lock made everyone turn. Karen and Steve Parker walked in carrying some bags. The smile on Karen's face vanished when she saw the stranger sitting in her kitchen. Who are you? What are you doing in my house? Richard stood up, handing her a card. Good evening, I'm Richard Thompson, an attorney. We need to talk about Jessica. Steve dropped the bags on the floor, his face hardening. Talk about what? About the adoption, and about who's looking for her. Karen paled, gripping her husband's arm. I don't know what you're talking about. Jessica is our daughter. Really? Then why was she sweeping the floor while your sons were eating? Dinner? That's none of your business. Steve raised his voice. So you have no right to come here and question how we raise our children. I do when there's a possibility of mistreatment. Mistreatment? Karen feigned outrage. We gave this girl a roof over her head, food, clothes, an education. And in return, she became a maid at 15. Jessica watched silently, the revelations of the last few minutes still spinning in her mind. Adopted. The word echoed like a bell. You don't understand, Steve tried to explain. We raised her as our daughter, but she needs to learn the value of hard work. It's different with the boys. They have another future. Another future, Richard repeated, incredulous. Why? Because they're not adopted. Exactly, Karen blurted, immediately regretting it. The silence that followed was deafening. Jessica felt the tears return in full force. So it's true, she whispered. I'm adopted. Why did no one ever tell me? Karen tried to approach, but Jessica stepped back. Sweetheart, it's not like that. Don't call me that, Jessica exploded, years of hurt pouring out. A daughter wouldn't be treated like a servant. A daughter would eat with the family. You're ungrateful, Steve shouted. After all, we've done for you. What have you done for me? Turned me into a slave? Brandon and Tyler shrank in their chairs, frightened by the argument. Richard raised a hand, urging calm. Let's all take a breath. Mr. Steve, Mrs. Karen, I need to see Jessica's adoption papers. Why? Who's looking for her? Karen asked, defensively. I can only reveal that after confirming her identity, but I can say it's someone with the means and determination to ensure her well-being. Steve crossed his arms. And what if we refuse to show you anything? Then I'll have to come back with a court order. And maybe with Child Protective Services. The threat hung in the air. Karen looked at her husband, who finally gave in. Fine, I'll get the papers. As Steve went upstairs, Karen approached Jessica. My dear, you need to understand. We love you, it's just not like your real children, Jessica finished bitterly. That's not true, it's just, when we took you in, we already had Brandon. Then Tyler came along. Expenses grew, we needed help. And I became the help. You're twisting everything. Richard observed the interaction, making mental notes. The situation was worse than he'd imagined. Steve returned with a yellowed folder and reluctantly handed it to Richard. Everything's in there. The attorney opened the folder, carefully examining the documents. His eyes lit up when he found what he was looking for. Jessica Williams, born March 12th. A Denver Memorial Hospital. Williams? Jessica asked, surprised. That's my real name? Yes, and here's your birth mother's name. Jessica's heart nearly stopped. What is it? Richard hesitated, then decided she had the right to know. Jennifer Williams. Jennifer Williams, Jessica repeated, savoring each syllable. Is she alive? She is. And she never stopped looking for you. Karen cut in nervously. Looking for her? But the woman at the orphanage said the mother didn't want anything to do with the child. What orphanage? Richard asked sharply. This says the adoption was arranged by someone named Mrs. Cunningham. Steve and Karen exchanged glances, sweating. She was the one who introduced us to Jessica's mother, Steve stammered. Interesting. And where can I find this Mrs. Cunningham? She passed away, Karen answered too quickly. About 5 years ago. Richard didn't seem convinced, but chose not to press further. Well, the important thing is I now know Jessica is who I've been searching for, and I have very specific instructions on what to do next. What instructions? Steve asked, alarmed. Mrs. Jennifer Williams wants her daughter back, and she has legal means to make that happen, given the circumstances I'm witnessing here. No, Karen shouted. We raised her for 15 years. You can't just take her from us. You're right, it's not that simple, but Jessica's well-being will be the priority. And from what I've seen today... You haven't seen anything, Steve interrupted. You caught us on a bad day, that's all. Say a bad day. Jessica found the courage to speak. This is my life every single day. I wake up at 5 to make coffee, clean the house, do laundry, cook, and still have to go to school. Meanwhile, Brandon and Tyler don't lift a finger. You're exaggerating, Karen tried to downplay. Am I? When was the last time you bought me new shoes? Mine have been falling apart for 3 months. But Brandon got brand-name sneakers last week. Brandon lowered his head in shame. Tyler bit his lip, remembering the video game he'd gotten the month before. Richard tucked the documents back into the folder. I'll take copies of these. Jessica, do you want to meet your birth mother? The question took everyone by surprise. Jessica felt a whirlwind of emotions. I don't know. What if she doesn't like me? Impossible. She spent 15 years searching for you. Searching how? It's a long story, but I can assure you she never wanted to abandon you. The circumstances back then were complicated. What circumstances? Jessica pleaded for answers. Your mother was very young when she got pregnant. Only 17. Her family didn't accept it. They threatened to kick her out. She had no way to support you. Jessica did the math quickly. So she's 32 now? That's right. And she built a life waiting for the day she could find you. Steve slammed the table angrily. This is ridiculous. What kind of mother abandons her child and then wants them back as if nothing happened? A mother who was forced into an impossible choice, Richard answered firmly. And who paid dearly for it. Paid how? Karen asked suspiciously. That's not for me to reveal, but I can say that Jennifer never got over losing her daughter. Every birthday, every Mother's Day, every Christmas, it was torture. Jessica felt her chest tighten. All those years while she dreamed of a mother who would truly love her, there had been someone suffering from her absence. I want to meet her, she suddenly decided. No, Karen protested. You're a minor, you need our permission. Permission you're going to give, Richard said calmly. Or would you prefer I tell the judge how I found Jessica today? Working, while her brothers ate? That's blackmail, Steve accused. That's justice. You had 15 years to treat her like a daughter. You failed. We didn't fail, Karen began to cry. We did the best we could. The best? Jessica laughed, bitterly. You know what my birthday gift was this year? Nothing, you forgot. But Brandon got a party with his friends. Things were tight, Steve tried to justify. They're always tight for me, but never for them. Brandon, who had been quiet until then, surprised everyone. It's true. Jessica always comes last. I never thought about it before, but it's true. Brandon, Karen scolded. No, Mom. Mr. Thompson is right. We always knew you treated her differently. It's just, it worked for us. So we never questioned it. Tyler nodded, tears in his eyes. I'm sorry, Jessica, we should have said something. Jessica looked at her brothers. Could she even call them that anymore? And felt a mix of anger and pity. They were just kids, products of what their parents had taught them. Richard stood up. Here's what I'll do. I'll give you 3 days to talk and get things in order. Then I'll come back with Jennifer. 3 days, Karen panicked. That's not enough. It's more than Jennifer got when they took her. Daughter away, Richard replied curtly. Jessica, you have my card. If you need anything, just call. Wait, Jessica called to him. My mother, Jennifer, what's she like? Richard smiled for the first time since arriving. She's an incredible woman, strong, determined, generous, and she has the same brown eyes as you. Jessica touched her own face, imagining her mother's. Does she know you found me? Not yet. I had to be sure first. But I can promise you, it'll be the happiest day of her life. With that, Richard said goodbye and left, leaving the family in complete silence. Steve was the first to speak. This isn't over. I'm getting a lawyer first thing tomorrow. What for? Jessica asked wearily. To make sure you keep exploiting me? It's not exploitation, Karen insisted. It's family cooperation. Cooperation? I'm the only one cooperating here. You're ungrateful. You could have been on the streets, in the gutter. And we gave you a home. The cruel words were too much for Jessica. She ran to the tiny room she shared with the washing machine, slamming the door. Lying on the thin mattress, she hugged the only stuffed animal she had, a faded teddy bear she'd gotten when she was 5, and cried all the tears she'd held back. Across town, Richard drove thoughtfully. He needed to call Jennifer, but he wanted to do it in person. 15 years of waiting deserved more than a phone call. He arrived at the elegant office in downtown Denver and took the elevator to the penthouse. Jennifer was on the balcony looking at the city lights. Well? She asked without turning, anxiety clear in her voice. I found your daughter, Jennifer. The wine glass she was holding slipped, shattering on the floor. Jennifer turned, her face streaked with tears. Are you sure? Absolutely sure. The documents confirm it. Jessica Williams, born on March 12th. Your daughter. Jennifer had to lean on the railing to keep from falling. How is she? Is she happy, healthy? Richard hesitated. She's surviving. What does that mean? Jennifer grabbed his arm. Richard, what's happening to my daughter? Sit down. We need to talk. Over the next few minutes, Richard recounted everything he'd witnessed in the Parkers' home. With every word, Jennifer's face twisted in pain and anger. They turned her into a maid? My daughter? Unfortunately, yes, but she's strong. Jennifer. Even with all that, she's a polite, intelligent young woman. I need to see her now. Take it easy. I promised the family 3 days to get things in order, and Jessica needs that time too. Finding out she's adopted at 15, it's not easy. She didn't know. Jennifer grew even more furious. What kind of people are they? People who didn't deserve the gift of raising your daughter. Jennifer paced back and forth, trying to process everything. 15 years, Richard. 15 years wondering if she was okay, if she was loved, if she ever thought of me. And now I find out that she needed you. But it's not too late, Jennifer. You can change her life now. What if she hates me for abandoning her? She won't. I saw it in her eyes, the desire to meet you, the hope. Jennifer sat down, hugging her knees. Tell me more. Everything you noticed. What does she look like? Beautiful. She has your eyes, your hair. She's taller than you were at that age. Too thin, probably not eating well. Her hands are calloused from all the work. Every detail was a stab to Jennifer's heart. Does she go to school? Yes, but I imagine it's hard to balance with all the housework. I'll sue those people. Jennifer, focus. What matters now is Jessica. Revenge can wait. You're right. What do we do now? You prepare to meet her, and I'll go back in 3 days, as promised. Jennifer stood up, a new determination in her eyes. I'll get her room ready. Buy clothes, new school supplies. Slow down. We don't know yet if she'll want to live with you right away. But she can't stay in that house. I agree, but the decision has to be hers. Jessica's had so little control over her own life. We can't take that from her now. Jennifer reluctantly nodded. Meanwhile, at the Parkers' house, the mood was tense. Karen tried to get Jessica to come out of her room for dinner, but she refused. Let her sulk, Steve grumbled. Tomorrow she'll forget all this nonsense. But Brandon and Tyler couldn't forget. For the first time, they saw the injustice that had always been right in front of them. Dad, Tyler said quietly, why didn't you ever tell Jessica she was adopted? Because it wasn't necessary. It would have complicated things. But it wasn't fair to her, Brandon insisted. Fair? Steve snapped. You want to talk about fair? Is it fair to feed 3 mouths on 1 salary? But you always say you make good money at the office, Tyler pointed out. Making good money doesn't mean being rich. You don't understand the responsibility of supporting a family. And does Jessica understand? Brandon shot back. She's only 2 years older than me. Karen stepped in. Enough of this talk. You're all confused because of that lawyer. Tomorrow everything will go back to normal. But nothing would go back to normal. In her room, Jessica listened to the argument and made her decision. When everyone was asleep, she'd call the number on Richard's card. The night dragged on slowly. Jessica waited until she was sure everyone was asleep, then slipped silently out of her room. She went to the kitchen and picked up the phone. Her hands shook as she dialed. After a few rings, Richard's sleepy voice answered. Hello? Mr. Richard, it's Jessica. Jessica, are you okay? He immediately became alert. I need to get out of here. I can't take it anymore. What happened? Nothing specific. It's just, now that I know the truth, I can't pretend everything's okay anymore. It never was okay. Brandon thought quickly. Do you have somewhere to go tonight? Any relatives? Friends? No. They never let me have close friendships. I always had to come straight home from school to do chores. I understand, Jessica. Just hang on a few more hours. Tomorrow morning I'll be there with a social worker. We'll do everything by the book. What if they won't? Let me leave? They will, trust me. Jessica hung up, feeling a mix of hope and fear. She went back to her room but couldn't sleep. Across town, Jennifer was also awake. She'd spent the night organizing what would be Jessica's room, shopping online, making plans. Her phone rang. It was Brandon. Jennifer, sorry to call so late, but Jessica called me. She wants out of there. Then let's go get her now. Easy, we'll do this properly in the morning, with Child Protective Services present. We don't want to give the Parkers any room to complicate things. But she's suffering. I know, but a few more hours won't make a difference after 15 years. Trust the process. Jennifer agreed, though every minute felt like an eternity. The sun rose to find 3 people who hadn't slept: Jessica, Jennifer, and Brandon. At 8 a.m., Brandon arrived at the Parkers' house, accompanied by a social worker and 2 CPS officers. Steve opened the door, paling at the sight of the group. What's this? Good morning, Mr. Parker. We're here to discuss Jessica's situation. What situation? Everything's fine. The social worker, an experienced woman named Dr. Elizabeth, introduced herself. We've received a report of possible mistreatment. We need to speak with the minor. Mistreatment? Karen appeared. That's outrageous. Then you won't mind if we speak with Jessica privately. With no choice, they let them in. Jessica was called and spent the next hour describing her routine to Dr. Elizabeth. And school? How are your grades? I do my best, but it's hard. To study when I come home and have to clean everything, make dinner. Do your siblings help? Never. They say it's my duty because I'm adopted. Dr. Elizabeth took more notes. Do you feel safe in this home? Physically, yes. They've never hit me, but emotionally, Jessica couldn't continue. I understand. And your birth mother, would you like to meet her? More than anything. But I'm scared. Scared of what? Of not being good enough for her. She must be someone important if she has a lawyer looking. For me. Jessica, your mother loves you no matter what. A mother's love doesn't depend on you being good enough. After the conversation, Dr. Elizabeth gathered everyone in the living room. Based on what I've observed, I recommend Jessica be given the chance to meet her birth mother, and that the situation in this home be re-evaluated. This is ridiculous, Steve protested. We raised her for 15 years and made her pay dearly for it, Dr. Elizabeth replied, by turning her into an unpaid maid. She's part of the family, a part who eats separately and works while the others relax. Karen began to cry. You don't understand. It wasn't easy for us. I imagine not, but it was even harder for Jessica. Brandon seized the moment. Jessica, your mother is waiting outside. She came but didn't want to enter without your permission. Jessica's heart raced. She's here? Now? Yes. Do you want to meet her? I do. Brandon went to the door and signaled. Moments later, Jennifer entered. Time stood still. Mother and daughter faced each other for the first time in 15 years. Jennifer covered her mouth with her hands, tears streaming freely. Jessica froze, seeing her own face reflected in this woman. "Jessica," Jennifer whispered. "My daughter." "Mom!" The words slipped out before Jessica could stop it. Jennifer opened her arms and Jessica ran into them. The hug was desperate. 15 years of longing compressed into a single moment. "Forgive me," Jennifer sobbed. "Forgive me for leaving you. I had no choice. I was so young. I had nothing." "You don't need to explain." Jessica held her tighter. "You came back for me. That's all that matters." Steve slammed his hand on the table, shattering the moment. "This is very touching, but she's still our legal responsibility," Dr. Elizabeth intervened. "Mr. Parker, given the circumstances, Child Protective Services may recommend temporary custody. Transfer while the situation is investigated." "You can't do that." "We can and will if necessary." "Jessica, would you like to spend some time with your birth mother?" "Yes," Jessica answered without hesitation. "No," Karen shouted. "She's my daughter. I raised her." "You fed and sheltered her." Jennifer spoke for the first time, her voice controlled but full of pain. "But raising a child is much more than that. It's loving, protecting, valuing. Things you denied her." "How dare you?" "I dare. Because I'm her mother, the mother who suffered every single day for 15 years, who built a life waiting for this moment." "What life?" Steve asked scornfully. "What can you offer that we didn't?" Jennifer straightened her shoulders. "Unconditional love, respect, dignity. And as for material things, I'm the CEO of a tech company. I can give her every opportunity you denied her." The silence was shocking. Jessica looked at Jennifer with new eyes. "You're rich?" "I have means. But more importantly, I have time and love to give. Things that were always rightfully yours." Brandon timidly approached Jessica. "Are you really leaving?" Jessica looked at her brother because despite everything, she still considered him one. "I have to, Brandon. I need to find out who I really am. But who's going to do things around the house?" The innocent question summed it all up. Even then, the concern was about chores, not Jessica. Tyler also stepped forward. "I'm sorry, Jessica, for everything." She ruffled the boy's hair. "You're just kids. It's not your fault." "We'll do better," Brandon promised. "Learn to help out. That would be good for you." Jessica smiled sadly. Karen made one last attempt. "Jessica, think carefully. You don't know this woman. What if she disappoints you?" "Like you disappointed me," Jessica shot back. "At least she's giving me a choice. You never gave me any." Jennifer gently touched her daughter's shoulder. "You don't have to decide anything permanent right now. We can take it slow, lunches together, weekends. Whatever you're comfortable with. I'd like to go with you today, can I?" "Of course you can." Dr. Elizabeth nodded. "I'll prepare a temporary authorization. Mr. and Mrs. Parker, we'll need to discuss permanent custody in the coming days." Steve clenched his fists but knew he had no choice. They'd lost. Jessica went upstairs to gather her few belongings. The small room, the thin mattress, the worn-out clothes, none of it mattered anymore. She was going home. Her real home. She packed everything into an old backpack, picked up the teddy bear and went downstairs. "That's all?" Jennifer asked, her heart aching at the sight of so little. "It's all that's really mine. We'll change that." Before leaving, Jessica took one last look at the family who'd housed her, but never truly loved her. "Thank you for giving me a roof, but a home. That's what I'll find now." She walked out hand in hand with Jennifer, leaving behind 15 years of servitude. In Jennifer's car, a luxury model Jessica never dreamed she'd ride in, the silence was comfortable. "Where are we going?" Jessica asked softly. "Home. Our home." "What's it like?" "Too big for one person. I've been waiting to fill it with life. Your life." Jessica studied her mother's profile as she drove. "Why did it take you so long to find me?" Jennifer sighed. "It's a long story, but the short version is that the person who arranged your adoption lied to me, said you'd gone abroad, that it would be impossible to locate you." Mrs. Cunningham. You knew her? No. The Parkers told me she died. Lie. I found her 6 months ago. She finally told me the truth on her deathbed. Asked forgiveness for deceiving me. Why would she do that? Money. The Parkers paid her to keep quiet, and I was too young, too vulnerable to question things. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, please take a moment to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It really helps us who are just starting out. Now continuing. They arrived at an elegant condominium on the south side of town. The doorman greeted Jennifer respectfully. Good morning, Dr. Jennifer. Visitor? No, Carl, this is my daughter, Jessica. She'll be living here. The doorman's smile was genuine. Welcome, Miss Jessica. Jessica murmured thanks, still processing everything. The elevator rose to the penthouse. When the doors opened, Jessica gasped. The apartment was enormous, with views of the entire city, modern furniture, art on the walls, a completely different life. It's beautiful. It's ours, Jennifer corrected. Come, let me show you your room. They walked down a hallway to a door at the end. Jennifer opened it, revealing a dream bedroom. A large bed, a desk, empty bookshelves waiting to be filled, a walk-in closet. I decorated in a hurry yesterday, Jennifer apologized. We can change anything you don't like. Change? Jessica entered slowly, touching each piece of furniture as if it might disappear. It's perfect. She sat on the bed and began to cry. Jennifer sat beside her, holding her. What's wrong, sweetheart? It's just, yesterday I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor next to the washing machine. And today you're where you always should have been, with me. They spent the day getting acquainted. Jennifer showed photo albums, talked about her pregnancy, the pain of separation. I was 17. My parents were very conservative. When they found out I was pregnant, they threatened to kick me out if I didn't give up the baby. And my father? Jennifer hesitated. He disappeared when he heard. A schoolmate, just as young and scared. Do you hate him? No, we were kids. He wasn't ready, just like I wasn't. The difference is I carried you for 9 months. Felt you move, kick. You were part of me. How did you build all this? Jessica gestured around the apartment. Focus. After losing you, I buried myself in studies. Only way to stay sane. Got a scholarship, studied tech, worked like crazy. Every achievement was for you, to give you a good life when I found you. Your parents, my grandparents, died 5 years ago. Car accident. We never fully reconciled. I'm sorry. They made choices. Just like I made mine by never giving up on you. Jennifer's phone rang. Richard. How's it going? Good. We're getting to know each other. Great. Need to warn you, the Parkers hired a lawyer. They'll try to complicate things. Jennifer looked at Jessica, who was listening. Let them try. I have resources to fight as long as needed. One more thing. Found out Mrs. Cunningham had a daughter. She might know more about the illegal adoption. Illegal? Yes. Gathering evidence, but it seems documents were forged. The Parkers could face criminal charges. Jessica's chest tightened. Despite everything, she didn't want Brandon and Tyler to suffer. What will happen to the boys? Don't worry, Richard assured. They're minors, won't be affected. At most, the parents will have to answer legally. After hanging up, Jennifer noticed Jessica's concern. You still care about them. Brandon and Tyler aren't to blame. They're victims too, in a way. They learned it was normal to treat me like that. You have a generous heart, even after everything. Ma'am, do you think I'm weak for that? On the contrary, it takes great strength not to let bitterness take over. They spent the rest of the day talking, laughing, crying. Jennifer ordered pizza, something Jessica rarely ate at the Parkers' house. I always got stuck with the burnt pieces, she confessed. Never again. Here, you eat first, better always. At night, when Jessica went to bed in her new room, Jennifer stayed with her. Do you need anything? Water? Another blanket? No, just... Could you stay a little longer? Jennifer sat on the edge of the bed, stroking her daughter's hair as she had always dreamed of doing. All these years I imagined this moment. You here, safe, with me. I imagined it too. I just didn't know it was you I was looking for. Now you know. And you'll never have to search again. Jessica took her mother's hand. Promise. I promise. Not even the whole world could take you from me again. When Jessica finally fell asleep, Jennifer stayed there watching over her as she hadn't been able to do for 15 years. The next day, reality began to set in. Jennifer enrolled Jessica in a private school near home. But it must be expensive. Jessica protested. Your future is priceless. Besides, you're behind in your studies because of those people. You need support. At the new school, Jessica felt like a fish out of water. The other students wore designer clothes, talked about trips, things she couldn't even imagine. A girl named Sophia approached her. Are you new? I'm Sophia, the class rep. Jessica, yeah, I started today. Where are you from? Jessica hesitated. How could she explain? It's complicated. A life change. Sophia seemed to understand, not to push. Well, if you need help, just ask. Everyone here's nice, you'll adjust fast. But adjusting wasn't easy. Years of educational gaps took their toll. Jessica worked hard but struggled in several subjects. Jennifer hired tutors. You don't have to do all this, Jessica said after a tough math lesson. Yes, I do. It's not your fault you're behind. It's the fault of those who denied you the right to a proper education. But you must be spending a fortune on me. Jennifer cupped her daughter's face. Jessica, I built this fortune for you. Every penny saved, every investment was for the day I could give you everything you deserve. It's not spending, it's investing in your future. Meanwhile, the Parkers faced their own crisis. Without Jessica, the house fell into chaos. Karen couldn't keep up, Steve complained constantly, and the boys realized how much they'd relied on their sister. Mum, isn't there any food ready? Brandon asked for the third time in a week. I'm tired, Brandon. Make yourself a sandwich, but I don't know how. Then learn. Your sister cooked when she was 12. She's not our sister anymore, Steve snapped. She chose that rich woman over the family that raised her. Tyler, who'd been quiet, exploded. Family? We were never her family. We treated her like a maid. Shut your mouth, kid. No, Mr. Thompson was right. We were cruel. Steve raised his hand, but Karen stopped him. No, enough. Our family is falling apart and you still want to hit the kids. Falling apart because of that stuck-up lawyer. Steve punched the table. I'll fight for Jessica's custody if it's the last thing I do. But his fight was in vain. Richard had built a solid case. Evidence of psychological abuse, child exploitation, and irregular adoption piled up. 2 weeks after Jessica left, the Parkers received a summons. The district attorney's office was filing charges against them. This can't be happening, Karen cried. We just wanted a daughter. No, their lawyer was honest. You wanted a maid you wouldn't have to pay, and now you'll answer for that. While the Parkers sank into legal troubles, Jessica flourished. Good food, proper rest, and Jennifer's unconditional love worked miracles. You look more beautiful every day, Jennifer remarked over breakfast. It's because I'm happy, Jessica smiled. For the first time in my life, truly happy. But not. Everything was perfect. Nightmares came at night, memories of years of servitude. Jennifer always rushed to the room when she heard the screams. Shh, it's okay. You're safe. I dreamed I was back there, that all of this was a lie. It's not a lie. It's your new reality, and no one will ever hurt you again. At school, Jessica made friends. Sophia became her best friend, helping with studies and fitting in. You've never told your full story, Sophia said one day during recess. Jessica took a deep breath and decided to trust her. I was adopted as a baby by a family who treated me like a maid. My real mother found me not long ago. Sophia was shocked. Wow, it's like a movie. A very sad one, but with a happy ending. Your real mother must be amazing to have searched for you so long. She is. Jennifer is everything I ever dreamed of in a mom. Jessica's grades kept improving. The private tutors worked wonders, but her dedication made the difference. You have potential for any career, her physics teacher said. Have you thought about what you want to do? Not yet. For so long I thought my destiny was to clean houses. Now, The world seems full of possibilities. Jennifer enrolled Jessica in all kinds of activities: swimming, guitar, English. She wanted her daughter to experience everything she'd been denied. "Isn't it too much?" Jessica asked worriedly. "You can drop what you don't like, but you deserve to discover your talents." It turned out Jessica had a gift for music. The guitar became her companion, a way to express emotions bottled up for years. A month passed. The case against the Parkers progressed. Richard called with news. The judge ruled, "Full custody is yours, Jennifer, and the Parkers will have to pay Jessica compensation for years of child labor." Jennifer celebrated, but Jessica grew thoughtful. "What is it, sweetheart?" "The boys, Brandon and Tyler. What will happen to them?" "Why do you care so much?" "Because I know what it's like to grow up without real love. I don't want that for them." Jennifer admired her daughter even more. After so much injustice, she still had compassion. "Do you want to visit them?" "Can I?" "Of course. But I'm coming. With you." The visit was tense. The Parkers' house was visibly run down. Karen opened the door with deep bags under her eyes. "What do you want here?" "Jessica wants to see the boys," Jennifer said firmly. "After destroying our family?" "You destroyed yourselves. Jessica just wants to say goodbye to her brothers properly." Karen reluctantly let them in. Brandon and Tyler ran when they saw Jessica. "You came back?" Tyler hugged her. "Just visiting," she said gently. Brandon was more reserved. "The house is a mess without you. You can learn to take care of it, you're capable. But it's not the same." "No, it's not, and it never should have been my responsibility alone." Steve appeared, his face hard. "Here to show off? Flaunt your new life?" "I came to say goodbye." Jessica kept her calm. "And to say I don't hold a grudge." "You don't hold a grudge." He laughed bitterly. "You ruined everything." "No. You built a house on lies and exploitation. It collapsed on its own." Jennifer stepped in. "Jessica has more generosity than you deserve. Accept it." Karen began to cry. "We loved you, Jessica, in our own way." "Love doesn't hurt, Mrs. Cunningham. Love doesn't exploit. Love doesn't discriminate." "Can we fix things?" Tyler asked hopefully. "Will you come visit us again?" Jessica looked at Jennifer, who nodded. "Maybe. When you learn that I'm a person, not a maid. When you treat me as an equal." "We'll learn," Brandon promised. "We're changing." "I hope so, for your sake." They said their goodbyes. In the car, Jessica was emotional. It was hard seeing them like that. They made choices. Now they're living with the consequences. "I know. But Brandon and Tyler, they'll learn, and if they truly change, we can reconsider visits in the future." Life moved on. Jessica excelled in school, made more friends, discovered new passions. Jennifer supported her in everything, making up for lost time. 3 months later, the trial took place. The Parkers were ordered to pay substantial compensation and permanently lost any rights over Jessica. "It's over." Jennifer hugged her daughter outside the courthouse. "You're officially free." "I always was, I just didn't know." Richard approached with a smile. "Congratulations. You both deserve this victory." "Thank you for everything," Jessica hugged him, "for finding me. It was an honor. Seeing you happy is my greatest reward." That night, Jennifer prepared a special dinner. She invited a few close friends to meet Jessica officially. "I'm nervous," Jessica confessed. "Why? They'll love you." "What if they think I'm inadequate? I didn't grow up in this world." Jennifer cupped her face. "You're perfect as you are, strong, kind, smart. Anyone who doesn't see that doesn't deserve your worry." The dinner was a success. Jennifer's friends welcomed Jessica warmly, impressed by her maturity and sweetness. "She's just like you, Jennifer," a friend remarked, "not just in looks but in strength." Jessica blushed at the praise. 6 months passed. Jessica's grades were excellent, and she was fully settled into her new life. On a quiet Sunday, Jennifer surprised her. "How about we travel? See the world you've only read about?" "Travel? Where?" "Wherever you want. Europe, the US, Asia. The world is yours." Jessica could hardly believe it. I've always wanted to see the ocean." I've never seen it in person. The ocean? Jennifer laughed. We can start there. How about Malibu next weekend? Really? Of course, we'll make every dream of yours come true. And so they did. The trip to Malibu was magical. Jessica cried when she saw the ocean for the first time. It's even more beautiful than I imagined. This is just the beginning, Jennifer promised. We have a lifetime of firsts ahead of us. They walked hand in hand along the beach, mother and daughter finally reunited. Jennifer? Jessica called as the waves wet their feet. Yes? Can I call you Mom officially? Jennifer stopped walking, moved. I'd be honored. Then thank you, Mom, for never giving up on me. Thank you, daughter, for giving me the chance to be your mom. They embraced there with the sun setting on the horizon, sealing a love that had survived 15 years apart. Back in Denver, life settled into a sweet routine, but Jessica had something on her mind. Mom, I've been thinking... About what, sweetheart? About all the kids living like I did, being exploited, not knowing they deserve better. And I want to help. I don't know how yet, but I do. Jennifer smiled proudly. I'm sure you'll find a way. Your heart's in the right place. At school, Jessica signed up for volunteer work. She started by tutoring underprivileged children. You're amazing at this, Sophia said after observing one session. The kids adore you. It's because I understand them. I know what it's like to feel unwanted. But now you show them they can be wanted, that there's hope. A year passed. Jessica, now 16, was unrecognizable, confident, articulate, full of dreams. One afternoon she received an unexpected message. It was Brandon. Hi, Jessica. I know it's been a while. I wanted to say we've changed a lot. Tyler and I learned how to do things around the house. We realize how wrong we were. Do you think we could talk? Jessica showed it to Jennifer. What do you think? What do you think? Your feelings are what matter. I think I'd like to see them, but here, on our terms. Then invite them over. Brandon and Tyler came over on a Saturday afternoon. They were visibly nervous. Wow, what an apartment, Tyler exclaimed. It's nice, right? Jessica smiled. Want some juice? You don't have to serve us, Brandon said quickly. We can get it ourselves. It was a small gesture, but meaningful. Jessica pointed to the kitchen. They talked for hours. The boys shared how life had changed. Mom and Dad split up, Brandon revealed. The whole process destroyed their marriage. I'm sorry, and don't be, it was toxic. Now we live with Mom and see Dad on weekends. It's better this way. And you two? Are you okay? Learning, Tyler admitted. It's hard doing everything you used to do. I don't know how you handled it. I didn't have a choice. We get that now, and we're really sorry, Jessica. Truly. I forgive you. You were kids, influenced by your parents. Can we stay in touch? Brandon asked, hopefully. You're still our sister, even if not by blood. Jessica thought for a moment. We can try, slowly, rebuild things on better terms. That'd be great, Tyler grinned. Jennifer appeared. Boys, want to stay for dinner? They exchanged surprised glances. Can we? Of course. Family is what you choose, right, Jessica? And so slowly new bonds formed, different from the old ones built on mutual respect. 2 years passed. Jessica, about to turn 18, had big decisions ahead. Have you picked a college yet? Jennifer asked over coffee. I'm torn between law and psychology. I want to help people like me. Both are great choices. Follow your heart. I think I'll apply to both. See where I get in. You'll get into both, I'm sure. You're brilliant. The doorbell rang. It was Richard, who'd become a family friend. I came with news. Remember Mrs. Cunningham's daughter? Yes, Jennifer replied. Did you find something? She wants to talk. Has information about other illegal adoptions her mother arranged. Jessica felt a chill down her spine. Other kids like me? Possibly. Are you willing to hear her out? Of course. Jennifer didn't hesitate. The woman, Amanda, arrived an hour later. She was around 40 and seemed to carry a heavy weight on her shoulders. Thank you for having me. I know my mother caused so much pain. It's not your fault, Jessica said gently. But I knew and I stayed silent for years. I need to make this right. Amanda revealed that Mrs. Cunningham had arranged dozens of adoptions in the 80s and 90s. Many were illegal, separating young mothers from their babies with lies. I have the records, names, dates, families. My mother kept everything. Jennifer. And Jessica exchanged glances. How many children? At least 30 that I could identify. My God, Jessica whispered. 30 stories like mine. Not all, Amanda clarified. Some adoptive families were good, but others... We have to do something, Jessica decided. These people deserve the truth. Richard agreed. I can help. Set up a task force. Locate them. It'll be a huge effort, Jennifer considered. But necessary, Jessica insisted. Mom, you found me. Others deserve that chance too. And so the reunion project was born. Jessica, Jennifer, and Richard, with Amanda's help, began tracking the illegal adoptions. Their first success came 2 months later. A woman named Rachel, separated from her daughter 20 years ago, was reunited with Hannah. You gave me my life back, Rachel sobbed, hugging Hannah. I'll never forget this. Jessica watched, moved. This is it. That's what I want to do with my life. Reunite families. Jennifer hugged her daughter proudly. Then we'll do it together. The reunion project grew. Volunteers joined, stories were shared, lives transformed. At a fundraising event, Jessica spoke to a packed audience. I was sold, exploited, treated as less than human. But I found my mother. I found love, I found purpose. Now I want others to have the same chance. The applause was deafening. Brandon and Tyler were in the audience, proud of the sister they'd almost lost. She's amazing, Tyler whispered. Always was, Brandon replied. We just didn't see it. After the event, the brothers approached her. Jessica, we want to help. With the project, as volunteers. Really? It's the least we can do, Brandon said. After everything, we want to make a difference. It would be great to have you on the team. Karen Parker watched from afar, too ashamed to approach. Guilt consumed her. Steve had disappeared after the divorce, but she was trying to rebuild her life. Jennifer noticed her. She's over there. Jessica looked and saw the woman she'd called mother for years. What do I do? Whatever your heart tells you. Jessica took a deep breath and walked over. Mrs. Parker. Jessica, you look beautiful. Radiant. Thank you. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. But I needed to say I'm sorry. For everything. I've already forgiven you. Not for your sake, but for mine. Holding on to anger would only hurt me. Karen wept. You're a better person than I'll ever be. I'm not better. I just chose love over bitterness. Can I hug you? One last time? Jessica hesitated, then opened her arms. It was a farewell embrace, a closing. Be happy, Mrs. Parker. Truly happy. You too, my Jessica. Just Jessica. They walked away in opposite directions, closing that chapter for good. College entrance exams arrived. Jessica applied to law and psychology programs at top universities. Nervous? Jennifer asked the night before results came out. Terrified, what if I don't get into any? Impossible, but if that happens, we try again. There's no rush. You always know what to say. Mother's experience. 15 years late. But getting there. The results came. Jessica got into both programs with outstanding scores. I did it. Mom, I did it. Of course you did. You're my daughter, born to shine. The decision was tough, but Jessica chose law. I can help more people this way, fight for children like I was. You'll be an incredible lawyer, like Richard. He's my inspiration. He brought me to you. Jessica's 18th birthday party was emotional. School friends, project volunteers, even Brandon and Tyler attended. Richard gave a speech. 3 years ago, I met a broken girl, exploited, without hope. Today I see a strong woman, determined, full of love to give. Jessica, you're proof it's never too late to start over. Jennifer spoke last. My daughter, you're my miracle. Every day with you erases a day of suffering without you. Thank you for choosing me as your mother, even after everything. I'm the grateful one, Jessica replied tearfully, for never giving up, for showing me I was worth it. Mother and daughter danced, watched by everyone who'd witnessed their journey. The first day of college arrived. Jessica was nervous, but excited. Remember, Jennifer said at the gate, you belong there. You earned your place. Thank you, Mom, for everything. Go shine. I'll be here when you get back. Jessica walked into the university with her head held high. No longer the girl who swept floors while others ate. Now she was Jessica Williams, future lawyer, advocate for the voiceless. Classes were challenging but fascinating. Every law learned was a weapon to protect vulnerable children. The Reunion Project had reunited 10 families, each story unique, each happy ending a victory. One afternoon, while studying in the library, Jessica was approached by a classmate. Are you Jessica from the Reunion Project? I am. Why? My cousin was adopted illegally. Do you think you can help? Of course. Tell me everything. And so, another search began. Jennifer watched her daughter work tirelessly, balancing studies and the project. Don't overwork yourself, you have your whole life ahead. I know, but every day lost is another day of separation for someone. Your compassion makes me proud, but take care of yourself too. I learned from the best. You took care of yourself to find me. Brandon, now also in college, had become the volunteer coordinator for the project. Who would have thought, he joked during a meeting, the spoiled boy helping others. People change, Jessica smiled. You're proof of that. I had a good teacher, even when I didn't deserve it. Tyler, in high school, started a campaign at school about child domestic labor. It's the least I can do, he said when Jessica congratulated him. I don't want any child to go through what you did. I'm proud of you all. You've become real men. 2 years of college passed. Jessica interned at a law firm, specializing in children's rights. You have a bright future, her supervisor said, a rare mix of technical knowledge and personal experience. Every case is personal to me. I see my past in every child we help. The Reunion Project became an official NGO. Jennifer donated substantial resources, and other supporters emerged. We're making a real difference, Richard commented at a board meeting. 23 families reunited, Jessica updated. But we still have 7 pending cases. We'll find them, Jennifer assured, even if it takes years, like you found me. Exactly. Persistence is our trademark. In one particularly difficult case, they faced resistance. The adoptive family didn't want to reveal the truth to their son. He has the right to know, Jessica argued. It'll destroy our family, the adoptive mother cried, or it'll strengthen it. Truth liberates lies in prison. After much negotiation, they agreed. The young man, Peter, learned the truth at 20. His initial reaction was tough, but with psychological support, the family grew stronger. Thank you, Peter told Jessica, months later, for insisting. I found my birth mother, but I didn't lose my adoptive family. I gained more love. That's what I hoped for. Love multiplies. It doesn't divide. Graduation approached. Jessica was to be the class speaker. Nervous, Jennifer asked while adjusting her gown. Terrified, speaking in front of so many people. You address larger audiences at the project. But this is different. It's my academic story, which is intertwined with your personal one. Just be yourself. In her speech, Jessica moved everyone. I entered this university seeking justice, not the abstract justice of textbooks, but the concrete kind that changes lives. I learned that the law can be a tool of oppression or liberation. I choose liberation. Always. Jennifer cried in the audience, Richard beside her. She's exceeded all expectations. She always does, that's who she is. After graduation, Jessica received several job offers. She chose a small but combative firm. Why here? Jennifer asked. You had better financial offers. It's not about money. It's about purpose. Here I can make a real difference. I never doubted you'd follow your heart. Jessica's first professional case was complex. A 12-year-old girl, Brittany, was in a situation similar to what Jessica had endured. "We'll get her out," Jessica promised the social worker. "It won't be easy, the family has lawyers. I'm a lawyer now too, and I have personal motivation." The legal battle was intense. The family claimed Brittany was just helpful. Helpful? Jessica challenged in court. Waking up at 5 to cook is helpful? Missing school to clean the house is helpful? She presented meticulously gathered evidence, photos, testimonies, school records. The judge was convinced. "I order the immediate transfer of custody. The minor will be placed in institutional care until a permanent solution is reached." Brittany cried with relief in Jessica's arms. "Thank you, doctor, you saved me. You saved yourself by having the courage to speak up. I was just your voice." Jennifer watched from the back of the courtroom, pride overflowing. "My daughter, the lawyer, saving other girls just like she was saved." Brittany's case opened doors. Jessica became a reference in domestic child exploitation cases. "We need specific legislation," she argued at a conference. Domestic child labor is invisible but devastating. Her speech went viral. Invitations to speak multiplied. "Be careful not to overextend yourself," Jennifer advised. "How can I refuse when I know every speech might save a child?" "True, but remember to live too. You're young." Jessica laughed. "I live fully. Every child saved is a full life to me." The reunion project marked 5 years. 50 families reunited, hundreds of lives transformed. At the celebration, Jennifer made an announcement. "We're creating a foundation with resources to expand nationally." The applause was enthusiastic. "Mum, this is too much. It's necessary. Your work deserves greater reach." Brandon, now also a lawyer, joined the legal team. "Partners," he offered his hand. "Partners," Jessica shook it. "Welcome to the fight. Learned from the best. My sister who became a hero. I'm no hero, just someone who understands the pain and wants to spare others." Tyler, graduating in psychology, also joined. "The original team back together," he joked. "But now on the right side." "You were always on the right side," Jessica corrected. "You just didn't know it yet." Amanda, Mrs. Cunningham's daughter, became research coordinator. "It's my redemption. For so many years of silence." "You don't need redemption, you need purpose, and you found it." A special case arose. Twins separated at birth, each adopted by different families. "It's complex," Richard analyzed. "Both families are good, but the sisters have a right to know each other." "Carefully," Jessica suggested. "Psychological preparation for everyone." The twins' reunion after 20 years was magical. The families, initially resistant, came together. "2 daughters now," one mother said. "Expanded family." "See?" Jessica smiled. "Love always expands." Years passed. Jessica became a prosecutor, fighting for vulnerable children. "Dr. Jessica," the judge greeted her. "Always a pleasure to have you in my courtroom." "The honor is mine, Your Honor." Another urgent case. "When isn't it? You never rest." "Children in danger don't rest. Neither do I." Jennifer, now in her 50s, watched her daughter shine. "She surpassed everything I dreamed," she confessed to Richard. "She's special, turned pain into purpose. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if they hadn't taken her from me." There'd be no project. Hundreds wouldn't be reunited. Evil brought greater good. Philosophy doesn't lessen the pain of those 15 years. No, but Jessica being here now erases it all, doesn't it? Every day, every smile of hers heals one of my wounds. Jessica came home exhausted, but victorious. "We won, Mom. The girl is safe." "Of course you won. You don't know how to lose when a child's at stake." "Learned from you, never give up." They ate dinner together as always, a sacred ritual after years apart. "Mom, I've been thinking..." "Dangerous," Jennifer teased. "Seriously, I want to adopt." Jennifer froze with her fork in the air. "Adopt?" "A child nobody wants, like I was, to give what you gave me." "Jessica, that's a huge decision. You're young, single. You were young when you had me, and alone when you got me back." "Touché, but are you sure?" "Absolutely. I have love to spare. I want to share." Jennifer smiled tearfully. Then we'll have a child in the family. I'll be a grandma. The best grandma, just like you're the best mom. The adoption process began. Jessica chose Madison, 8 years old, multiple returns. Why her? The social worker asked. It's a difficult case, because I know what it's like to be rejected, not by her. Madison was wary, distrustful. Years of abandonment had taken their toll. I won't stay, she said at their first meeting. No one really wants me. I do, Jessica replied simply, and I don't give up easily. Everyone says that, then they get tired of me. I'm not everyone, I'm Jessica, and I chose you. Months of visits, slow progress. Madison tested boundaries. Why do you keep trying? She asked after a particularly tough tantrum. Because my mother kept trying with me. Real love never gives up. Did your mother abandon you too? Not by choice. And she spent 15 years looking for me. Found me when I was just a little older than you. 15 years? Madison's eyes widened. 15 years. She never gave up, and I won't give up on you. Something shifted in Madison's eyes, hope blooming. The adoption was finalized on a sunny day. Jennifer, Richard, Brandon, Tyler, all present. Welcome to the family, Madison. Jennifer hugged her granddaughter. A chosen family, the best kind. There's so many of you, Madison observed shyly. And they're all yours now, Jessica assured her. Forever. The adjustment had challenges. Madison had nightmares, insecurities. What if you get tired of me? Impossible, Jessica would hug her. You're my daughter, forever. Promise? I promise. More than that, I swear by my story. Jennifer turned out to be a wonderful grandmother. Madison adored her. Grandma, tell me about Mommy when she was little. Which story today? The reunion one. Always that one. And Jennifer would tell it, each time with more detail, the journey that brought their family together. Jessica's work gained national recognition, awards, honors. But she stayed focused. Awards don't save children. Work does. At an important conference, she presented a bill. We need to specifically criminalize domestic child exploitation. It's not help, it's forced labor. The audience, including lawmakers, gave a standing ovation. Dr. Jessica, does your personal story influence your proposal? Absolutely, I lived that reality. I know how urgent change is. Critics say it's too harsh. Critics never woke up at 5 to serve the family exploiting them. I did. The law passed months later. Jessica's Law, as it became known. Mom, we did it, she celebrated at home. You did it. You changed the country. We did. Without you finding me, none of this would exist. Madison watched proudly. My mom's a hero. Your mom's persistent, Jessica corrected. Heroes fly. I just work really hard. The reunion. Project became an international model. Delegations came to study the methodology. How do you maintain such a high success rate? A foreign visitor asked. We don't give up, Jessica explained. Every case is a child looking for a mother looking for a child. Giving up isn't an option. Brandon, now married, announced his wife's pregnancy at a family gathering. Another one for the family, he toasted. Will it be a boy or girl? Madison asked excitedly. A girl. We're naming her Jessica. Jessica choked on her drink. Brandon, you don't have to. Yes, I do. You saved our family. My daughter will carry a hero's name. Stop with the hero talk, Jessica protested, emotional. Hero's sister, Tyler supported. Just accept it. Jennifer watched the gathered family. Brandon's son-in-law, Tyler's wife, Madison, playing. A big, loud, loving family. What are you thinking, Mom? About miracles. How something so broken became this. Love, Mom. You taught me. Love rebuilds everything. Richard, his hair, now completely white, raised his glass. To the family destiny separated and love reunited. May nothing ever part us again. Amen, they all toasted. Madison tugged Jessica's sleeve. Mom, when do I get a sibling? You want one? Yes, someone to protect, like you protect everyone. Jessica looked at Jennifer, who smiled encouragingly. Then let's go find your sibling, how about that? Really? Madison jumped excitedly. Seriously, chosen family can always grow. Months later, Thomas arrived. 5 years old, history of abuse, barely spoke. He's perfect, Madison decided immediately. I'll take care of him, and she did. By 8, Madison became a fierce protector of her little brother. No one hurts my brother, she declared at school when asked. Thomas slowly began to speak. First word? Sis. He spoke, Madison shouted. Mom, Grandma, he called me. Tears of joy flowed. Family healing family. Jessica's office grew. Young lawyers wanted to work with her. Why my office, what she'd ask in interviews. Because you live what you defend, was the common reply. It's not just a job, it's a mission. Missions are heavy. Sure you can handle it? If you can, we'll learn. And they did. Jessica wasn't an easy boss. She demanded excellence, total dedication. Every poorly handled case is an unprotected child, she repeated. Unacceptable. But she also supported, taught, inspired. Dr. Jessica changed my life. An intern confessed to Jennifer at a party. She has that gift, changes lives wherever she goes. You must be so proud. Beyond words. But she's the one who makes me proud to be a mom. A complicated case arose. A powerful family, a child clearly exploited. They'll use every resource against us, the opposing lawyer threatened. Let them. Jessica didn't flinch. I'll use the truth. The battle lasted months. Veiled threats. Pressure. Maybe you should step back, Brandon advised worriedly. Step back? When a child needs me? Never. But your safety... What safety did I have at 15, scrubbing floors? Now I can fight. She won. Child saved. Powerful family publicly humiliated. Was it necessary to expose so much? The judge remarked after sentencing. Yes, examples prevent other cases. Children aren't property. Madison and Thomas waited at home with Jennifer. Did Mommy win? Thomas asked, now talkative at 6. Mommy always wins, Madison replied confidently. Not always, Jessica corrected as she arrived. But I never stopped trying. Group hug. Family celebrating another victory. Jennifer watched her daughter with the grandchildren. Full circle. Pain turned into multiplied love. It was worth it, she whispered to herself. Every tear was worth this. Did you say something, Mom? Jessica asked. I said I love you every day, every hour. I love you too, infinitely. The reunion project reached 1,000 reunions. National celebration. 1,000. Families, Jessica spoke emotionally. 1,000 stories of persistent love. Amanda took the stage. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but Jessica taught me it can build a future. Thank you for letting me be part of this. Former beneficiaries spoke. Tears, laughter, overflowing gratitude. Jessica Williams gave me back my mother, a young woman testified. I don't have enough words. You don't need words, Jessica replied. Your smile says it all. Jennifer was the last to speak. Jessica was my first, my personal miracle. Who became a miracle for 1,000 others. Daughter, you surpassed any dream I ever had. I learned from the best, Jessica hugged her mother. The woman who never gave up. In the audience, Karen Parker watched. Aged, remorseful, but there. Jessica saw her, nodded discreetly. Silent forgiveness. Karen cried. Brandon approached his birth mother. She forgave, truly forgave. I don't deserve it. No one deserves Jessica, but she gives anyway. After the event, the family gathered for dinner. Sacred tradition. Mommy, why do you help so many people? Madison asked. Because I can, and because someone helped me when I needed it. Grandma Jennifer? Grandma Jennifer, who taught me love doesn't give up. I'll never give up either, Madison decided. Me neither, Thomas agreed. Then we're a family of fighters. Jennifer laughed. The best kind. Richard, a constant presence, watched contentedly. Who would have thought? Retired lawyer, part of a family like this. Chosen family, remember? Jessica hugged her godfather. You chose us first. Best case of my career, without a doubt. Years passed. Madison as a teenager, Thomas as a preteen. Normal family challenges. Mom, can I go out with friends? Madison, 15 now. You can, but be back by 10. 10? Mom, I'm not a kid. No, you're not. But you're my daughter. 10 o'clock. You're so overprotective. I am. A flaw of someone who lost protection too young. I'm sorry. Madison hugged Jessica. No need to apologize, just negotiating. 10:30. 10:15. Final offer. Deal. Better an overprotective mom than an absent one. Thomas developed a passion for music. Jessica paid for lessons, bought instruments. You don't have to do all this, Mom. Yes, I do. Your dreams matter. What if I'm not good? Impossible. But even if you don't go pro, music feeds the soul. It's worth it. Jennifer, nearing 70, stayed active in the project. You should rest, Mom. Rest? While families are still separated, never. Stubborn. Look who's talking. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Thank goodness. I want to be you when I grow up. You're already better. You saved preventively. I saved retroactively. An international award arrived, the UN recognizing the project's work. We need to go to New York. Richard announced. All of us? Madison perked up. All of us, the whole family. An unforgettable trip. Madison and Thomas seeing the world. Mom, it's huge. Thomas marveled at the skyscrapers. The world is huge, and all yours to explore. At the UN, Jessica spoke to global delegates. Domestic child labor is invisible slavery. It exists in every country, every class. We need to look. Thunderous applause. Brazil at the forefront thanks to her. Jennifer cried quietly. Richard held her hand. Your girl changing the world. Our girl, she belongs to everyone who loved her. Award received, a historic photo. Jessica between her children, Jennifer and Richard flanking her. This award isn't mine, Jessica declared. It's for every child saved, every family reunited. I'm just the voice. Back in Brazil, work doubled. International fame brought resources, support. We can expand across Latin America. Amanda proposed in a meeting. Let's take it slow, Jessica considered. Grow without losing quality. But so many children need help, and we'll help them all, one at a time, with excellence. Brandon, now a partner, agreed. Jessica's right. Haste is the enemy of perfection. Since when do you think like that? Tyler teased. Since I learned from my mistakes, 15 years late, but I learned. The foundation grew steadily. Regional offices, trained teams. The manual Jessica created became a global reference. How do you have energy for everything? A journalist asked in an interview. It's not energy, it's purpose. When you know the why, the how appears. Your why? Every child deserves love. Simple as that. Not so simple in execution. No, it's not. That's why I don't stop. A full house on Sunday. Extended family having lunch. Brandon's daughter, little Jessica at 5, playing with cousins. Auntie, why do I have your name? She asked innocently. Ask your dad. Because you're special, Brandon answered. And I want my daughter to be like you. You don't have to be like anyone, Jessica corrected. Just be yourself, sweetheart. But can I help people like you? You can and should, each in your own way. Jennifer from the kitchen watched generations interacting. Happy? Richard asked, helping with dishes. Beyond words, you? Honored to witness it. The best case became the best family. Madison, now a law student, discussed cases with Jessica. Mom, can this precedent be used? It can, but mind the context. Every case is unique. You always say that. Because it's always true, people aren't numbers. Thomas, a teenage musician, played guitar, the same song Jessica had learned years before. Beautiful melody, Jennifer remarked. Mom taught me, said music saved her many times. It really did. When words fail, music speaks. Night falling, family saying goodbye. Hugs, promises to return. Jessica and Jennifer stayed on the porch, an ancient, sacred ritual. Tired? Jennifer asked. Fulfilled. Different from tired. Very different. Proud of you, daughter. Likewise, Mom. Always likewise. Comfortable silence. Two women who conquered time, distance, injustice. Mom? Yes? Thank you for everything. Always, I'm the one who's grateful for existing, for persisting, for letting me be your mother. A long embrace. 15 years recovered, multiplied into a lifetime. The phone rang. An urgent case. There was always an urgent case. I need to go, Jessica apologized. Go. Save another one. I'll wait. Always? Always. I learned from the best teacher. Jessica left. Jennifer stayed, heart full. From nothing to everything, from pain to love, from separation to union. A story that began with a broom and tears, transformed into a legacy of hope. 1,000 families reunited, thousands more to come. Because true love never gives up. Never. Ever. The end. And that was the moving journey of Jessica and Jennifer. Now tell me, have you ever witnessed a family reunion story? What did you think of Jessica's transformation? Leave your kind comment below. If it touched your heart, give it a like and subscribe for more stories of resilience and love.